Rachel. I'm a homeschool mom to two boys, grades 3rd and 5th, and in about one more week I will have my very first middle schooler. So we're all excited about that and looking forward to that. Today's video is going to be my back to school shopping. There's not a whole lot to show you. None of this includes curriculum. Those are other videos, but just a couple things that I had to pick up, and so I thought I would share with you what I got, why I got it, and I will do my best to link everything that I can down below. So I will just go ahead and get started. So the first thing I have are these two 5-subject notebooks. They're exactly the same, and they have a place here in the front where I could write, though this is kind of glossy paper, but I could write a subject so that they know which tab it goes to, but it's just lined paper. And there are a couple different subjects that they have that they're going to need this for. For example, one of them is going to be Fix-It Grammar. Fix-It Grammar has a place for vocabulary words, and so they'll have a spot where they can keep all of that. Also for their language arts with the good and the beautiful, they have a lot of writing things that they need here, and so that's where that they can keep all of those things. Their science in the past has needed a notebook. We are using a new science this year that we haven't, so I don't know. I still need to go through and see if that's the case. But a couple other ones that need their own specific notebook, and I just find it easier to keep it all in one place. And so I really do like having these. In fact, after they came, I liked it so much, I went ahead and bought myself one. Mine is pink, and it just has my own things in it that aren't necessarily for homeschool, but just for funsies. So I really do enjoy having these. It's no surprise that they're blue and green. At this point, I know that I have not shared my son's names on here. I don't say them, but I think at this point I can just call them blue kid, green kid, because everything for them is one or the other. But I do really enjoy how large these are. I've gotten 5-subject notebooks in the past, and they're actually kind of smaller, so this is a really good size. The next thing, I had a pastel paper for the good and the beautiful language arts 4. They get into oil pastels. So my son needed his own pad of pastel paper for his own assignments. This one does have different colors. So there's white, there's like a tan or a brown, and kind of a blue one. So I don't know if I realized that at the time when I bought it, but it's no biggie. The next thing that I got for myself is, I'm not quite sure what this is going to become. I'm still working out those kinks, but I wanted a homeschool mom binder to keep all of the things that I am trying to manage this year. That's a little bit newer for me. I got myself a 3-ring binder that kind of came with some other tabs already. So I'll be keeping in this binder kind of our sample schedule, our morning time routine, all of my older son's grading and transcript stuff, information. A lot of times I do make notes of curriculum I want to do for a later grade, but I don't want to forget it, and so I like to keep all that stuff in one spot. So as I see stuff, it's kind of a running list of, well, this is a really good 9th grade science. I just want to remember that when the time comes. So I like to have a spot for what future homeschool might be. It's always flexible, but it's always good to not feel like I need to remember this in the moment. This just seemed like a pretty one. The next thing I got were whiteboard markers, thin whiteboard markers. We do have 2 whiteboards, and it has been, I mean, it's not a huge deal, but it's been a struggle to find ones that work well. And I do find that my personal favorites are the Amazon Basics, but those ones are thicker, and I did want a thinner one. Well, that still doesn't seem too thin, but we'll see how it works. I haven't tried them out yet, but I did get a pack here. So I will go ahead and link them, but I'm probably not going to pull them out until I do a my homeschool clean and refresh for the year. Now, I only have 2 kids, but it is a weekly problem to find our pencils. And it's not that they are going through them so quickly. They are always just taking them and then we never see them again. And maybe that's just a normal thing and I need to just be okay with that, but I'm constantly reminding myself, I just bought pencils. Where are they all going? And so I saw a public school teacher who had the same problem, which is going to be on a much larger scale for her. But what she did is she had one of these things that I think are made for straws. Well, this one might be made for pencils. And I think hers was larger too, but by putting this here so that the kids can just push this down and be delivered a pencil, that very thing helped encourage her kids to turn the pencils back in. And so I'm going to give it a shot. It was only, I think, $12. This one also has things that you can, I guess, suction it to something. This must be sticky. But I'm going to see if this will help promote my kids to bring their pencils back. Now, to go with this, to bring thrills, for no reason, because why not, I did get different colored pencils instead of just the normal yellow ones that we always have, and so they won't know what they're getting. That feels like a fun surprise that is going to promote them to put their pencils back, right? That feels like that makes sense to me. I don't know. So this is what I've done. I don't know. I'm just trying to solve a problem where are the missing pencils going, and seeing if I can figure something out here. So, anyways, that is what I have here. Now, even though these pencils are great, the erasers barely last, and so we're constantly going through these. So I did get another pack of these eraser things. These things we go through all the time. And see, these are being used, so it makes sense to repurchase these. But the pencils are not being used. Can you tell that this is like a weekly conversation I'm having with my kids? Anyways, the next thing I got were travel pencil pouches. What I want to do is, my kids are older, they're 8, my youngest son is about to turn 9, and then my other one is 11. And I have never really brought in doing school anywhere other than home, but I kind of feel like they're at an age where we could probably try this more often. So, meaning I pack up their book bags with that day and we maybe go to a coffee shop for a few of the subjects. So I wanted to get them both pencil pouches that would be specifically for that purpose. So these are kind of nice and wide, and they have a few pocket areas here for different things. So, blue and almost green. They didn't have a green one, but that's okay. So, the next thing I have are just these little post-it things. What are they called? Post-it tabs. The purpose for these are primarily for all the teacher guides. They will often have a section where these are the worksheets, and then these are the quiz sections, and then these are the tests. And so I want to just be able to easily label where those sections end up, and so I did get myself some of these. One thing that we will be doing as a family, one of our family subjects is geography, and we are going to be going over the 50 states. I explained that we're going to be using Knotgrass, our 50 states, and so I did want to get at least one game pertaining to that. So I did go ahead and get this one. Marcello. Sounds fancy. But let me show you the cards. So from my understanding of this, I haven't really gone through all of this, but you're going to have this box with all of these kind of tiles, and you're trying to build a map on the table, and so you have cards, and you're trying to get cards that touch. So if you get Kansas, you're going to be trying to get the states that are around it, which will in turn help them learn what states are close to each other. So you're building out the state. Here's an example of another one. They're pretty colorful. I kind of like how they look. They also have some important information pertaining to, so here we have Mount Rushmore on there. So that's cool. I wonder what they have for Washington. Probably be the Space Needle or Mount Rainier. Are we gonna be last? Oh, we were second to last. That's funny. All right, so we do have the Space Needle and a few mountains here. So there we go. Alrighty, so this is a nice little compact game. The next things that I got, well, one thing I already owned, so I was just shopping my house, but I do have one of those 3-tiered, what are they called, carts, that's just been sitting here in my room here, and it's just it has no purpose. It's just taking up space, and so I am going to bring that down. And I think that's going to be a good spot for maybe for all of my teacher guides, for all of my grading needs, so that it can all just be kept in the homeschool room, as well as I think I'm going to have a section specifically for our morning time can stay there. And then maybe things like this. I will be working on map skills with my kiddos this year for find where all the states are, and so this might be a good thing to keep with that. So my 3-tiered cart, I shopped that from my own upstairs. And then the other thing few things I have is we do have a reward system just within our homeschool. So there are certain things that my kids can do that will earn them a sticker for their sticker chart, and so much of that, then they get to pull something from the reward basket. So I was going to get some little gift cards for their favorite dessert place, but I think I'm just going to make little certificates or little cards and just kind of keep them in the basket. So $5 to the frozen yogurt place they like, and so that could be something that they pick, or a donut at, what's it called, Legendary Donuts. We also have a cookie crumble or crumble cookie near us, and so I'll have little goodies in there, and it's just for one treat, and that will be one of the options that they could choose to work towards for their homeschool rewards. And then the other thing I got was for the reward basket, as we call it, and I like to have a variety of things. In fact, I just realized I forgot that I had just bought them Yodo cards. One of the things that I got, though, I forgot, they're downstairs, but I forgot to bring them up, little Yodo cards for their Yodo player, which is kind of like for audiobooks. It also has a daily podcast, which is really fun, but you can get these little cards, and they have a whole bunch of different types, and so I have purchased a few of those. I'll put up a picture of that kind of stuff, of what those things look like, but so they can work towards getting a new Yodo card for their Yodo player. And then another thing that I got were these things from Usbourne. One of my kiddos is really obsessed with narwhals, and so I did get one of these where you just get it wet, and then you can paint a color here. Got them a maze book so they can have a spy maze book. My kids really like these build your own stickers, and so I got dragons and I got sea creatures for them. And so it looks like this, and it has a little information there. There's things. So they do really like these, and the funny thing about these is then they keep them around as for like picture books, and they come back to them all the time. So these are cool. Now, the other thing I got, I didn't need, but Usbourne had this sale going on, or Paper Pie, and so I went ahead and got a few more chapter books. I obviously didn't need to do this, but it just kind of happened. So these are called Adventure Mice. So these look like the kind of the goofy chapter books that my younger son really loves. I got the rest of Hotel Flamingo. My younger son had read the first one and he really enjoyed it and was talking about it, so I decided to pick up the rest of them. I did get this with my older son in mind, but looking at it, it's below his reading level, but I think that he would still like it. What is his name? Oh, Bear Grylls? I don't know how to say his name. The Jungle Challenge. So, he's never read these chapter books before, but if they like them, then I'll happy to get some more. And then this one is some sort of mystery, and I know how much my son loves mystery, so I went ahead and picked up that one. There are more in this series, so if he likes it, I am obviously more than happy to buy them chapter books. So that is it. Alright, I think that is everything. Thank you for watching. I will link everything below. Now for the Usbourne stuff, or paper pie, I have to say that it is a personal code. And so if you choose to buy from the link that I put below, I get a commission. And so, you know that that is how that works. But everything else is from Amazon, so I will find all the stuff I can and link it for you. And if you have any questions, let me know, and I will see you on the next video. Okay, thanks. Bye.